Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Liam. In this video I'm going to be forging an integral knife. Now an integral knife is a somewhat more difficult construction in knife making. It's where the bolster or the guard is one piece with the blade. So I'm going to be forging an integral kind of with my own techniques. It's not necessarily the only way to do it, or maybe necessarily the right way to do it. It's just how I do it. There's guys out there that are doing way crazier work with integral knives than I am. Guys like Michael, I think his last name is pronounced Quisenberry. He's doing insane stuff with integral knives, so I aspire to do stuff like that. You know, I've done integral knives with guards before, and I've done plenty of integral knives with just regular integral bolsters. But in this video I'm going to be doing an integral with a full-on extended guard. So halfway through making this, I decided that I was going to make it a brute de forge integral, which means that the blade won't have any grinding to it other than sharpening it. So basically I'm going to be forging this thing down to pretty thin on the edge. So I'll be tapering the blade to its final thickness, forging the bevel in really thin to its final thickness, so we won't have to do any grinding on the blade. The only grinding that's going to be done is on the tang, the profile, and then a little bit on the guard. So it's basically forged as close to shape as I can get it. Of course, it makes things more difficult. I don't know why I keep doing this to myself. I start out a project that's already difficult, and then I seem to make it more difficult for myself along the way. Okay, so here's the blade after I did a little bit of rough grinding. It literally took me just a couple minutes to do this profile grinding, and that's because it was forged to shape pretty darn close. The edge I measured at 58 thousandths, which is just under a 1/16 of an inch. The guard and everything, of course, is forged in. These lines right here, it's all forged in and hot rasped. The handle will be ground and finished just like a normal knife will. But I really like this profile, the way that it came out. And this is, like I said, I've decided this is going to be a brute de forge style knife. And a brute de forge just means that this doesn't get ground. It makes the knife a lot more unique. It makes the knife a lot more difficult in the forging aspect. Now in the finishing and grinding aspect, it really will be less difficult, because all I'm going to do is convex grind an edge on here. This doesn't get touched. None of this gets touched. All I've got to do is even up the thickness on this bolster here, because it's off by maybe a 32nd of an inch or something, and then taper the tang, drill the holes, put the handle on, and everything else is like a normal knife. But forging an integral like this makes this thing just all the more difficult. It's not very common that you see brute de forge integrals, because it requires a higher level of cleanliness in the forging. So normally you see brute de forge knives, and they're not integral, they're just flat on this plane, which makes it a whole lot easier. I've never done this before. I'm not claiming to know exactly what I'm doing. I am just making this up as I go, kind of figuring it out. I have learned a lot forging this knife. I've learned the series of steps, the order that it should be done in. I didn't do this in the most efficient working order. I learned what not to do, so on the next knife I can really go in and do it faster and more efficient in a more profitable manner. You know, I can get away doing this kind of stuff, but it's not my expertise. You know, axes are my expertise. If I walked up to Michael Quisenberry and forged a knife against him on a timer, an integral knife like this, he'd beat me all day long. But if I went up against someone who wanted to forge axes against me, or do axes, you know, I'd whoop their butt all day long, because that's what I specialize in. I know every little nuance of making axes. I know how to do it fast and how to do it and make money at it. So, you know, watch this video and take from it what you will. You don't take it as the Bible of forging an integral knife. You know, it's just how I did it. Go around, look at other people's videos and pictures and techniques, and kind of combine them all and come up with your own thing. But I hope that this video was helpful and just cool to watch. If you're not a knife maker, you're just someone checking this stuff out. Hopefully it was kind of cool for you guys to see something like this take shape. The starting stock was W1 steel. It was 1.25 inches round by, I didn't measure the length, it was probably about 4.5 inches long. And this is what we ended up with. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.